Hey guys, this is OddOneGaming. This is going to be another Dragonheir Silent Gods video. In today's video, I want to talk about the artifacts that we have on Season 2 coming for us tomorrow. Because, well, Season 2 is just around the corner, especially for, or at least for the people that started on day 1 of the relaunch. So tomorrow's going to be a big day, right? We're going to have the new season starting, new things happening, lots of summoning and all that. So I didn't want to go over the summons because, well, I want to have the actual thing happening in-game tomorrow and I'm going to break down everything. But for today, let's check out the artifacts. So I really wanted to go ahead and check the new artifacts that we have for this season because, well, tomorrow is going to be the day when everybody should be starting, right? Or everyone's going to start doing the summons and whatnot. So you definitely want to know, okay, if you start getting some dupes, are some of these artifacts worth investing into or not really, especially, you know, if you're trying to compete in several areas of the game. So that's why I want to do it, because you're bound to get dupes, right? So most of the time you want to see with dupes if you choose to get one of the artifacts, and then if not, then you can go ahead and inspire a legendary. So maybe I think I'm not going to personally go over the exclusive ones. So for example, we see Beldel's artifact. Obviously, you need to get her and another copy. If that's going to be the case, you 100% are going to pick her exclusive. Same thing for Perkunte. If you pull 2 copies, you're 100% going to be getting his exclusive artifact, right? 100% going to be the case. Sorry, yeah, this one's Perkunte's one, right? 100% going to do that. This one's just for, you know, specifically for, what are they called again? The Lightning Bolt? Lightning Bolt, let me see. I think it's Lightning Bolt. Yeah, I think Thunderbolt. Sorry, my bad. Forgot the name. So, obviously, if we look at the... And sorry, again, the last exclusive ones, the Ascetius, again, if you pull 2 copies, you're 100% going to pick them. So, I'm not going to go over them because 100% you're going to choose them and go with them. But let's start with, I guess, with the Thunderbolt one since I looked at it. So, this one says it gives attack. Also, the wearer deals up to 20% more lightning chain damage with each enemy under electrocuted on the field, further increasing lightning chain damage by 4%. So obviously, if you're gonna have, you know, let's say you pull maybe Perkunte, and you're not gonna be able to pull a second copy, you're not pulling a second copy for him specifically, but you wanna have a good artifact for him, you would 100% try and see if you have dupes of lightning, and then you would definitely get the war drum for him, because it just makes sense, in case, you know, instead of the crown of order. Then let's look at the burn artifact, gives attack and attack percent, the worst damage dealt to enemies inflicted with burn is increased by 4% for each stack of burn they possess. I think these stacks can go up to 8, right? So that would be 32% more damage. So same principle, if you're going to be using a burn hero, 100% you're going to want to go with this artifact. And honestly, from what I have seen happening with burn, apparently Ascetius is not the best anymore. Apparently it's Duran, right? One that's not an exclusive burn legendary, so you definitely want to keep an eye on this. And if you have dupes, try and save one to be able to get this for your burn team, because it sounds like it's going to be really awesome. And then we look at the Blooms of Prina. I'm telling you now, because I played with this before, this is going to be 100% extremely powerful for your Ice Blast team. Gives you more attack and attack percent, but also when the wearer consumes Ice Crystals, their next battle skill deals extra 25% damage. And because you're going to just be spamming those, you know, battle skills, if you have good enablers for your Ice Blast teams, 100% Blooms of Prina are going to be the good choice. But again, same principle, if we're talking specifically about Beldel, if you have Beldel and you pull another copy, you're going to want to go with this. If you don't pull a second copy, then Blooms of Prina is going to be the best. But same principle again, if you're not going to get any of the exclusive ones, which you should try and get at least one. And I think from my point of view, best choice is going to be Beldel, but I'm going to try and look more into it and give the best advice. But even if you don't have that, Blooms of Prina is going to be amazing to power up your Ice Blast teams. Now let's have a look at the other normal artifacts that we get. First one's going to be the Aurora Telescope. Gives us attack and attack percent. Then the effect says the wearer deals more damage based on the defense gap between them and the enemy. If the target's defense reaches 200% of the wearer's, the bonus damage caps at 40%. This sounds really powerful, especially for PvE, right? Or maybe even in PvP, when you're thinking that you're going against, you know, really tanky Gyariuses, Urions, Grishnars, stuff like that. They're going to tend to have a ton of defense, and most of the time your damage dealers are not going to have that much defense. So them getting 200% is going to be easy. Let's say you have like 2000 defense. If they get 4,000 defense or more, you're gonna get this damage bonus effect. So this is gonna be really powerful. At the same time, I think it's gonna be really good in dungeons, right? Like I might do some testing for these specific artifacts and make videos on it, but this one sounds like it's really good, so definitely one worth keeping in mind. The next one, Kukul Kante's Bindings. It gives HP and accuracy. I always love one that gives accuracy. As the battle starts, the wearer has a 100% chance of inflicting attack penalty on the enemy with the highest attack for up to 20 seconds. If the target's attack exceeds twice the wearer's, this debuff cannot be dispelled for its duration. Okay, so the first thing is definitely you need accuracy, right, to land it. But if this happens, if the second effect where they have double your attack cannot be dispelled, that's really good. And honestly, just looking at this, the first thing that comes into mind, and I'm not talking about arena, right? First thing that comes into mind is arena. This can be really good in arena to just, you know, disable the enemy's highest attack one. Going up to 20 seconds is going to be huge. But not only that, if you think about dungeons where you might struggle, especially like this, right? Because this is specifically for as the battle starts. There's very few places in the game where you only need something that happens just at the beginning and then that's it. And the first thing that comes into mind is Grave of Venom. Most of the time, the first initial burst up until your healers, your shielders, your buffers come into play, the boss most of the time almost kills your tank, right? Unless you use Urion, he can survive a bit, but still, you might need some more survivability, or you might need Urion's passive to kick in later. So I have a feeling that maybe Kukul Kante's Bindings is going to be a good artifact for Grave of Venom to help you survive, right? To especially help your tank survive. So this could be good on one of your disablers. I do believe that I'm personally gonna get this one. Okay, next one's gonna be Nutaur's Shears. Attack and attack percent. I remember this from before. It's not the best, I'm telling you now. But let's read it. The wearer's damage reduces the target's max HP by up to 20% of that damage. The max HP reduction can be up to 50% for any target. This effect cannot trigger on bosses. So just straight up, it tells you that, honestly, the only area that I can see this being used is arena. So unless you're somebody who really cares about arena, about min-maxing it, then you just skip it. I'm personally gonna skip it. I don't see any reason getting this unless I have, like, you know, dupes of somebody that I can do nothing else with, then I'm gonna get it. But otherwise, this one's just not worth it unless you're, you know, you only care about arena, or that's your number one priority. Okay, next one, Titan Rib. I think this is from Season 2 as well. Gives HP and resist. It's good to see more artifacts that give us resist. The effect, upon resisting a negative effect, the wearer increases all allies' damage by up to 15% for 10 seconds. This is pretty interesting, right? This can be pretty interesting. It can bring some decent damage, I guess, especially in areas where you want to go with high resist builds, right? Most of the time, you might have your support just go with the Horn, and you get up to that, you know, up to that 15% damage for 10 seconds. This one can go up to 3 stacks. Whereas this one's a bit quirky and a bit different, and you know what? This can be good, right? If you build somewhere where you need to resist debuffs, this is going to be powerful, so this is going to be one to keep an eye on. Then another one, this is Ravachuk's roots used to be busted, right? Season 2 before, this used to be the best artifact for epics or below because of the effect that they gave. However, if I read what I've seen so far, they nerfed it and it's not going to be as powerful. So this is the one that you get from clearing Fey Meander stage 200, and it gives you HP and defense percent, so pretty good base. The effect is the wearer's HP is increased by up to 15% and defense by 15%. This effect doubles for non-legendary heroes. This is why this one looks so busted. It used to be the HP and attack, I think, or attack and defense, right? It used to boost something else. Now they removed the attack from there, so your damage dealers, like for example Gerten, used to do more damage with the Ravachuk's roots than with the exclusive Blooms of Prina. Now they swapped it. However, this one sounds like it can be really powerful for a tank where you don't want them to, have accuracy or have something different, or maybe some healers that would scale off of HP and defense. Otherwise, it's not as good. The cool thing used to be, I'm not sure if they fixed it, but this effect that it says over here, right, the extra stuff granted, the 15% and 15%, this used to be based on your total stats as you go into the fight, not just your base one, right? And that makes a big difference because 15% of, 40,000 is one number, but 15% of like 100,000 is going to be a completely different number. So this one, like I cannot see right now where this could be used, but everybody gets it. So I'm definitely going to be doing some testing, and I'm going to let you know if I find any areas where that one's a must. And then we have this one, Everlasting Diamond. If I saw this correctly, you can buy this again from the shop, because before this used to be from Pillar of Trials, but they changed that, so it kind of looks like it was shown in the shop. But this one's the really strong one because it gives HP and Enlightenment. Enlightenment's a really important stat, and the effect is the wearer's healing increases by up to 30%. So for your straight up healers, if there's somebody you have that does just a big burst of healing that you care about to do this, right? So a good example, like again, Venom, like I mentioned, Grave of Venom, where you just want a big heal in there, then this is going to be powerful unless you choose to go with Gatekeeper Staff, right? But I feel like especially early on when it's so much harder to get Enlightenment, getting an artifact that gives you Enlightenment can be really good. So Everlasting Diamond, definitely not worth skipping. And I think the last one, I think this is the one that wasn't in the first season. Or was it? I think it was. I think everything else we had in the first season, but that was pretty much it, right? These are the artifacts. Honestly, like I said, looking at them, not so good. Could be good for Venom. Could be good for, you know, boss damage dealers. Could be good again for your tanks to try and boost the damage. And obviously all the other exclusives are pretty standard. But let me know in the comments down below, what do you think? Which one of these artifacts do you like? Which one do you think you're gonna grab? Because I'm really curious what you guys think about this. But we're gonna leave it at it. Thank you for watching. As always, if you do enjoy my content, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel to see when I upload next. Also, don't forget to use code OddOne to support me as a content creator. And also, if you do support me, jump in Discord, DM me, and I can give you some free codes, right? 600 War Marrow, 4 Heal Lights, some other Starlight, lots of free stuff, so come grab it. But yeah, thank you for watching. I'm gonna see you on the next one. Peace, love, take care, everyone. Bye, guys.